So this pour was very interesting, just like this challenge that we selected for today and tomorrow, because I loved it. And that's weird. I loved it, even though there were dividers. Like, you have to have dividers for this. And that's cuckoo bananas. Yes, I'm going to tell you more about the pour that we did and all of the things in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. I loved this pour. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And you are here for day 329 of 365 days of soap. And we are doing another Amy Warden soap challenge thing. And yeah, we are doing a to comb or not to comb. And we are using Lone Star's Strawberry Champagne for the pour itself. Now, for the Lone Star stuff, I'm not liking them. They have not been a lot of fun for me this month. So there's that. But this pour, delightful. So fun. Now, the idea, the to comb or not to comb thing is you can, literally do like a slab and then pull combs through it like you would with a Peacock swirl or something like that, right? Or you can use a loaf mold and dividers and get a cool comb effect without combing. And I saw that tutorial and went, well, I want to try it now. Like, that actually, yes. So that's what we are doing today. So today's my turn, and we should stop talking here and actually go to the video, because I can't wait to show you this pour and how like completely and totally satisfying it is. So let's go. Okay, so first up, I guess the scent. First up, there's the scent. We're using strawberry and champagne. And it is a Cat 9 7% Lone Star scent. Have no idea what it does because no soaping notes. Okay, so second up, this pour was so much freaking fun. I enjoyed all of this. Even though I had to use dividers. Even though I had to make a big old mess. Even though there was the potential for wasted soap. I loved every second of this pour. It was delightful. And I mean, that might have something to do with like the podcast that was going on in my ear while I was soaping, and it allowed me to just listen and focus on the podcast and not on the pour, because the pour itself is actually kind of simple. You saw how quick I got this. I stopped. You saw how fast I stopped mixing my soap, right? Because I'm like not even at an emulsion yet, because you need a very, very thin soap batter, which I love. And once you have that very, very thin soap batter in the colors that you want, you just continue to pour through a funnel. These funnel thingies, not like a real funnel, but like a funnel spout, like these containers, so you can get into the mold. Just layers of color over and over and over again on a slanted mold at the end of the slanted mold until the mold is full. And that was so much fun. This pour, I loved. Nothing wrong with this pour. I had such a great time with it. And I will tell you more about like the actual pour and the technique and what it is and what it's meant to do and all of the things during the actual pouring of it. But I just want to put that out there for my sudsers who watch me. I had fun with a messy pour, with a divider pour, with a kind of long pour. Loved this technique just across the board. Loved it. It was so much fun. And if my my cut sucks, well, you might hear me at the end of the video saying I no longer love it. But honest first reaction, this pour was cathartic. And I am always here for the cathartic pours, for sure. Let's go check out the pouring of the 2 comb or not 2 comb soap challenge. So again, my mold set up on an angle using dish towels, and we have dividers. And really what it is you're just pouring the colors with no real rhyme or reason, except you do kind of want them to be sort of spaced. So otherwise, what's the point of really pouring it this way? So I'm not necessarily pouring the same color into all 3 of the molds 100, or all 3 of the dividers 100% of the time. Very, very fluid soap batter, which is required for something like this. Amy Warden does actually, so the whole challenge, right, for the Amy Warden soap challenge for this one, it's called 2 comb or not 2 comb. And in the regular category, there is you can make a slab or maybe a loaf, either way, and you take frickin' combs to it, right? So like the little tool that we made for the mantra swirl, and we've done a whole lot with since. Or, you know, there are like actual, like I think Brambleberry actually sells something that's like called like a peacock foot or something. It's like a bunch of nails banged into a board, but why buy it when you could just make it with cardboard and bamboo skewers? But yeah, no, so you can comb it, that's the regular technique, or you can not comb it, which is this technique, which is the advanced category, and I chose to not comb it. And because this whole idea of this really fascinated me, and I'm like, because anytime that I've ever looked at like a soap that looks like a comb has gone through it, like a peacock foot or whatever it's called has gone through it, I'm like, oh, okay, I know how to do that. But then when I actually looked at the tutorial, and the advanced category was, oh yeah, you can create that whole pattern without actually combing, I was intrigued. Is this harder than combing? Yeah, I think it is. Is it more fun? Yeah, I think it is. And this was just delightful, even though it was super messy, because it is super messy. Look at that. It's it's messy. We've got droplets that look like, you know, it's red. It looks like blood. And I'm spilling on the what, and it was so much fun. You should do this pour. If you soap, you should do this pour. If you don't make soap and you just, you know, follow me because you're interested in, I mean me, because a lot of you are my locals and I love that so much, but just you like watching the making of the things in general, just like I like watching makeup videos, right? But I never actually put makeup on. Love makeup tutorials. Never put makeup on. I mean, I do for the videos, but like not big crazy eyes and stuff. Still love makeup channels. And you're just watching for funsies. Let this be the one. Let this pour be the one that makes you decide, I want to make soap. And you should do this pour. Because it was so delightful. I loved everything about this pour. And you see how it's layering itself into the mold here. Now the idea is, because you're working from the bottom of the mold, or from, you know, the long end of the mold, it's creating the comb pattern throughout the entirety of the bar without you actually having to pull a comb through it. And all of the different layers will vary based on how much soap batter you're putting in with each pass, really, with stuff. And it was like that's a big pass. I'm interested to see what that looks like in the cut. Like, for sure. Is it going to be just one big swoop of gray? But I don't know. Point is, this pour was so much fun. So much fun. You guys should do this pour. So many of the Amy Warden soap challenges things, I'm like, oh yeah, it's tedious, it's long, sometimes they're complicated. This was really none of those things. I didn't find it to be tedious or long or really complicated. It was monotonous for sure, but you know, there's something to be said. There's something soothing about the idea of monotony. Like, especially like during this time in our lives when everything is just always cuckoo bananas all of the damn time. Just over and over, you're pouring these 3 colors, keep going, and eventually your mold will be filled, and you will have accomplished something of value. And that's cool. I love that. Like, yes. And also, just look at those lines. They're cool. They're interesting. I'm very much looking forward to cutting this and seeing, you know, what's inside of it or whatever, knowing that I didn't have to drag a comb through it. Again, is this harder than just dragging a comb through it? Yeah, it is, because I had to use dividers. And dividers historically are not something that I like. But with this one, I didn't super mind it. It was delightful. And my batter actually stayed very, very fluid throughout the entirety of this pour, which was great. I mean, look at that, how it's going back down into the container there when I set the container down. The batter's doing really well. So the strawberries and champagne, I mean, I'm going to have to check Georgia May's tomorrow and see what her opinion was with her pour, but I like it. It's good. It's one of maybe 2. All right, so here's the thing. I had to pull the dividers out. And it said to pull them out the exact same time. And then it said to not scrape them back into the mold. And I sat there for a couple seconds and thought, well, to scrape or not to scrape? And I think you already know the answer. What is it that I'm going to do? I'm going to scrape it back into the mold. I'm not wasting soap batter. No, that's not happening. And so this essentially becomes a not to comb with a little bit of comb at the end to make the top look pretty. And so that's what we're going to do. And just go ahead and give it a little pretty top and put it in the oven for C-pop and gel. And I was so excited to cut into this soap. So excited. So let's go check out that cut and see, you know, how the whole thing looks and what the to comb or not to comb looks like inside. Okay, on to the cut. This has been in the oven for overnight, and it is, you know, very nice bar. Looks very good. It's nice and firm-ish right now. Now, I decided to actually cut this in multiple ways. So I want to see what happens if we cut it like a mantra, right? And so we cut it like from top to bottom, 3 pieces. So there's the top half, the middle, or the top third, the middle, and then the bottom third. And then also do some cuts the regular way with the regular wire cutter. And so that's what we're doing. I'm measuring out the chunk that I would need, and that's what it would look like if we cut that particular section with the wire cutter. And so, like from, you know, just the regular standard, because we're still using the wire cutter. This is very confusing, but I'm cutting the bottom off, so that's the bottom of the bar. And look at that. Look at that comb action going on there. That's not too shabby. I like that. And look at that. That's also cool. Does the other side look better? The other side looks better. That's awesome. That's great. Like, that's cool. There's like the little comb pattern, and they're different. They're not the same color across the bar, which is awesome. That's super cool. And now I'm going to cut a couple just regular, like the regular way you cut soap, in just your 1-inch chunks without, yeah, you know. And also a cool pattern. Isn't that cool? That's cool. They're 2 different. I'm going to say cool a lot, but I found it to be very cool is the thing. And so now, yeah, okay, cool. So I can cut this either way. Seriously, you should be actually counting the number of times I say cool today instead of all the things. And so now I can actually cut it either way, right? Because both cuts revealed really awesome designs. So I'm going to cut a few more of these bars with the regular way, with the wire cutter, and then the last part I'm going to, again, cut the top third off, the bottom third off, and the middle third. So that's what we're going to do. And I gotta do my, yeah, where do I go? Maybe there? It's, maybe, yeah, no, go, yeah, do the, no, okay, fine, adjust, Yeah, that. Cool. Oh, maybe not. These are things that I usually cut out, you guys, to make you think that I am just a super pro and never second guess myself when cutting soaps. It's not true, it's a lie. But look what oh no, I didn't show you the thing. That is cool. Like, look at that. Look at all those little layers of weirdness. That's crazy. I love those layers of weirdness. That's fun. And with the right colors, which I don't necessarily think these are, but they're also not bad colors, so it's super cool. It would stunning for sure. There's like lamination or something going on in there. Yes, that is delightful. Such a fun pour, and I'm not mad at the results. Like, I am not mad at all with the cut. I think that is such an adorable bar of soap. Batch of soap. Adorable is another way of saying cute, but not another way of saying cool. But you really should be counting the number of times I say cool tonight. And I'm just talking to Georgia May at this point. Like, it doesn't really matter which way. Always second guessing myself. Left the whole thing in so you guys could see my whole process. And again, look, we got another piece of paper, a piece of soap paper, just like that one. Yeah, we keep them, and we keep them handy because they're cute. That one has literally been sitting right next to the soap cutting area for like a month and a half. And that is just adorable. These are really, this was a fun pour. The variation from bar to bar, very cool, very like mid-century modern in its design. Like, you can do a lot with a pour like this, and it's actually easy enough that you could keep in your line however long. And look, all of the different variations depending on how you cut it, and they're all just super fun. I think that's great. Scent blend, that strawberries, it's a little light, the strawberries and champagne. I thought Georgia May disagreed. She could still smell it, and so it might just be the different nose receptors and all of the things. But yeah, no, so cute. That is day 329 to comb or not to comb soap challenge, and I chose with the not to comb version, and I'm in love with this. This is fun. I'm gonna do way more of these pours for sure. And there it is, my to comb or not to comb. And I did the not to comb version. And oh my God, those bars are adorable. They're just the cutest thing across the board with all of the different layers that looked like and I actually really did just get in the groove of just pouring into the different, like, it was very cathartic. I let my mind wander. I got to listen to the podcast I was listening to while I was pouring, and I didn't actually have to focus on the pour. And so I guess for maybe some people that would be like monotonous, but my brain reset during all of that, and I really felt very invigorated afterwards. So I love this pour. I really think people should try it. Yes. Now, if you're interested in seeing what Georgia May comes up with her to comb or not to comb, and whether she does to combing or not to combing, subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow. Come see us. That would be awesome. I would super appreciate it. For each and every one of you who have subscribed to the channel, I do an actual happy dance every time it happens. So thank you. I really appreciate you because you help me get my steps in every day by dancing. Yes, I am out of here for today. Thank you guys all again for joining me for another round of 365 days of soap. I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.